Hi there, can I speak to Richard, please? Yep, he's a friend of mine, actually. The I'm a friend approach. Hi guys, my name's Deepak Shukla, founder at Pearl+Lemon Sales. We're a sales training and development agency based in the UK as well as the USA and serving clients worldwide. And here today, in day number 77 of 119 days of cold calling, we're here to talk about the I'm a friend approach. But before we get into it, feel free to click the link in the description below to get access to the 17 additional strategies not shared in this training. So guys, we're still talking about ultimately getting through the gatekeeper. We spoke about the receptionist bulldoze in training number 76. Please do refer to that if you've not seen it yet. And the other element of it with the bulldoze, it does upon, well, it's direct, right? And is Richard in? Yes, Deepak. You know, that style, quite short, quite sharp, and you would lead the receptionist to believe that, wow, this is someone who's important, or that's, you know, got an agenda, I'm going to just put them through. Whereas the other approach that can work also half the time, if you half and half it and see what works more effectively, especially depending upon who you come across. The I'm a friend approach is more friendly, convivial, and it's literally saying, you know, as you heard it, you know, it's a friend. And there's variations of this because you don't necessarily need to show, or rather you don't need to say that you're a friend for the receptionist to think that maybe you know Richard personally. So I want to point out one thing. I consistently in training number 76 and today have been using the term, or using just Richard's first name. So if we just say his last name is Jenkins, Richard Jenkins, then do you see the distinct difference when you move from saying, hi, there's Richard in, to hi, there's Richard Jenkins in? Do you see that, of course, friends don't use full names when they're referring to each other? It's just not something that you do. And it's very easy to get into the habit of when you're making a cold call to use first name, last name as a convention. It's quite common because you'll be doing it, for example, potentially 70, 80% of the time. But when you come up against, when you come across a receptionist, then definitely that might change. So that's where the friendliness and the tone becomes super important again here. Do you see how there's a running thread with all of the trainings about tone and how important tone is to basically just communication in general? So with this, I say irrespective. If we take the Dorothy Perkins example again, you're calling Dorothy Perkins and you have someone who answers the phone and says, hi there, it's Mandy here, or hi there, Mandy speaking, how can I help? Or hi there, Dorothy Perkins, how can I help? Or hi there, how can I help? Some such variation. You'd say, good morning, it's Richard in. And even then, you need to be careful with the way that you phrase it. Morning, is Richard around? See, do you see how that was different? So is Richard in to is Richard around? Is Richard around? So is Richard around sounds a little bit closer and more informal than is Richard in, because is Richard in raises to the level of consciousness that you don't know when he comes in or when he's around, and or rather when he's in. Whereas if you say is Richard around, saying is Richard around is a little bit more informal than in. So it's interesting, just with choice of words, you can really drive the subconscious context of the call. And that's going to be also important to elements such as this. So when you open, you could be, hey, is Richard in? Is Richard there? Or even, is Richard about? Yeah, it's Deepak. So do you see how you, yeah, it's Deepak. The way that I then follow up when she asks, who is it? And I say, yeah, it's Deepak. I say it like I'm a friend of Richard's. Yeah, it's Deepak. So be sure that you use your own name equivocally as well, because fundamentally it's normal that if you're a friend, then you're going to use your own name, because you're just your own first name, rather than defaulting to, yeah, it's Deepak calling from Pearl Lemon. As soon as I say that, it gives the gambit away, because then suddenly, okay, it's someone who's trying to look like he's a friend of Richard's, but actually it's a corporate call, because he's then diverted into saying, yeah, it's Deepak calling from Pearl Lemon. And you wouldn't want to do that. So be sure to not introduce your company name if you're going for the I'm a friend approach unless and until you're asked. Otherwise, don't bother with it. So yeah, it's Deepak. It's Deepak. And then just pause, wait. It's very common in that scenario to get nervous if, for example, the receptionist pauses for a moment, because she won't be used to hearing an opener like that, she or he, the receptionist, will maybe pause and think about it, be like, oh, yeah, sure, and listen and try and compute what's going on. And in that moment, make sure you keep stum, right? Okay, make sure you don't say anything else. So, yeah, hey, is Richard in? Yeah, it's Richard about. Yeah, it's Deepak. Pause. Wait. If she pauses and then you say, oh, yeah, so I'm calling about, all of a sudden you've taken the call in a completely different direction, and it's no longer making use of the I am a friend approach. So being super mindful of your tonality and then word choice. Is Richard about? Yeah, is Richard there? And is Richard there? Probably if I'm talking hierarchies, I would go, is Richard about? To, is Richard in? To, is Richard there? They would be my hierarchy, the ladder, if you will. And I'd start with, is Richard around? Is Richard there? Is Richard in? Those being the three, and that being the order of preference. And then when you move to the second element, when they say, who is it? It's Deepak. It's Deepak. You could go with, it's Deepak. Or Deepak. Now, it's Deepak. The, it's Deepak probably is the better of the two, because it again reinforces the friendliness of it. So even the it's Deepak really emphasizes the fact, I say the fact, the emotion or the impression you want to communicate that you're calling a friend. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully that makes sense enough for you, the I'm a friend approach to push your or sidestep your way past the receptionist.
Remember, we've got 17 gated strategies just waiting for you. All you need to do is bing, subscribe, as well as click the link in the description below to get access to those 17. Get some.